The man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know. So just keep your eyes peeled, you know what's going on. When brothers out there in the camps, just keep sharp, make everything scriptural. No ad hominem attacks, no attacks on people, just stay in them scriptures. And pretty much, those of you brothers that are, in spots where you have to speak a little later because, brothers are working, whatever, once the sun goes down, get the fuck out of there, because it's getting worse and worse everywhere you go. Like Elder Pastor said, by the time the sun goes down, brothers should be the fuck out of the areas where they're at, and pretty much that's it. Just stay prayed up, keep looking, because we almost out this bitch. Lord's will, they do something drastic for the next 6 months, coming up the rest of this year, so it can push this MOTB to the max. Because once that's pushed, that's it. That's like the linchpin. Like you have the pin that holds it. The grenade is not going to explode unless you pull the pin, and release the lever, So hopefully that'll be the thing that pulls pin out of the grenade and allows it to, allow the prophecies to take hold of this place, especially the one with the MOTB, which is a micro C-hip. That way, everything can start speeding up and moving faster and faster.
Shalom, welcome to another video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chodash. And next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. Alright, so this is going to be a video, okay, just showing you the decree that Apostle Ahrayamlab made yesterday. Okay, if you weren't watching that live, alright, towards the end of his daily walk and talk, okay, he said, hey, we're coming into the times where it's getting more and more dangerous, and pretty much, brothers don't need to be out there teaching at night. Once it gets dark, go ahead and get the hell up out of there. Okay, so he may not have officially said that as a decree, all right, but it is a wise word. So I just wanted to share that he had said that, and then of course, bring out some precepts, all right, giving us remembrance of what Yahweh Shai had said, okay, to warn us, pretty much to be circumspect, all right, to be harmless as what's the word? Harmless as a sheep, and wise as a serpent. I forgot exactly how it goes, but we'll get that. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive right into that topic. Yahweh Rachazah, meaning Heavenly Father's will, is edifying to the elect. All right, I got Ephesians 5:15 pulled up. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Okay, so we're living in evil, deadly, serious times right about now. Okay, and it's only going to get worse. It's looking like these things are going to intensify. All right, we're getting closer and closer to Jacob's trouble. Trump is getting ready to try to establish martial law. Okay, at Los Angeles is just a test site. All right, but once again, he said that through the Spirit, and him being an elder, all right, elder apostle. Okay, we got to take heed to what he said. He said for brothers not to be going out there trying to teach at night. All right, because once again, it's getting dangerous. He said once the sun goes down, go ahead and get up out of there. Okay, so once again, walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because of the days are evil. All right, redeeming the time meaning what? Let's read this in NLT. It says, make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. I don't really like that one as much, but anyway, that's okay. Let's continue on. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3. All right, 2 Timothy chapter 3, and I'm gonna start from the top at verse 1. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." You get the definition. on that word perilous. All right, it means full of danger or risk. Dangerous. Okay, that's what we're living in right now. Once again, dangerous times. It says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, proud, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Okay, and even though we know that, as the scriptures say, Psalms 34:7, angels encamp round about them that fear him and deliver them out of all their troubles. You don't want to tempt the Lord. Okay, he said that through the Spirit, so it'd be best to take heed. You don't want to tempt the Lord. The Lord speaks through his men. So if he said it's best not to be out there teaching at night, then hey, you be wise to follow that decree. Okay, continuing on, it says, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. All right, so that's the way people are today. Okay, the most important verse I want to get is that they're fierce and despisers of those that are good. Okay, as we get closer and closer to the end, all right, more people are gonna come up against, the Hebrew Israelites look for a reason, all right, to do harm unto us. All right, which they already are. Okay, but it hasn't turned physical yet. Right now, it's still spiritual. But the time is gonna come where they're gonna want to kill us. All right, so we have to be wise, move with wisdom, and not just bring anybody around. You gotta be careful who you're dealing with because you don't know. Okay, and then also we know that obviously they're sending out agents. All right, so once again, we just got to move with wisdom. Let's get this next one as well. All right, the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, keep thee far from the man that hath the power to kill. This is talking about Esau. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. And here's the point. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. So we're always around the midst of snares and traps. Okay, America, Babylon the Great, is known of as the valley of the shadow of death. All right, there's constant death around the corner, especially for people that look like us. Okay, so we have to move with wisdom. Not only people that look like us, but especially those who are not playing into that programming of Esau. Okay, because they love to see us as thugs and criminals, gangbangers, drug dealers, but they hate to see men out there preaching the Bible. Okay, and especially with the stuff that we preach about. So once again, walking circumspectly, people are going to come up against us. We're already seeing it more and more. And like I said, we're not out there to be fighting people. We're out there to teach the word. So let's read this from Yahushai's lips. Okay, this is Matthew 10 and 5. It says, matter of fact, let me put this on right quick. Boom, there we go. Matthew 10 and 5. Then these 12 Yahushai sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and to any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey, neither two coats, neither shoes, nor yet staves, for the workman is worthy of his meat. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to take care of us. All right, it says, and into whatsoever city ye enter, city or town you shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till you go thence. And when ye come into an house, salute it. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return upon you. And whosoever shall receive you, nor shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. So, yeah, like people don't want to hear it. Hey, that's all good. Okay, shake off the dust of your feet, move on to another corner. Verily I say unto you, it should be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And here's what I was quoting earlier. So like it, Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. There we go. That's what I was thinking of, Salakia. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And that's what they're trying to do now. Okay, they're trying to get us accused. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, and for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, Take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of the Father which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Okay, because Esau's going to come down with that pressure. All right, if you're not willing to, if you're not ready for that spiritually, you're going to fold. All right, a lot of people are going to be turning each other in that day. Okay, trying to appease the wrath of Esau. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. It says, but when they persecute you in this city, flee you into another. For verily I say unto you, ye shall not go over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more should they call them of his household? So if they call Yahushua the king of demons, pretty much, that's exactly what they're going to say about us, because what we're teaching is not compatible with the world. Okay, it's not world friendly. All right, so people are gonna hate us. Okay, and like I said, as we get closer and closer to that time, all right, that persecution is gonna come. So we got to be ready spiritually. It says, "But fear not them, therefore, for there's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetop." So we're still gonna preach with great boldness, but we are gonna use wisdom. All right, and like I said before, nighttime hits, get up out of there. Verse 28, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Okay, and that's it. All right, so let me get one more precept and I'll close it out with this. Okay, Proverbs 22 and verse 3. All right, it says, a prudent man, which prudent is another word for wise, foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So just remember that. All right, I'm going to close it out there. Heavenly Father's will is edifying as always. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Wadash. And until next time, Shalom, and abide with all.